Mabuhay Pipis! Kumusta? Ako po si Chang.
Called Reach You in Manila. We're gonna do our very best to have Chang's heart and love reach you. So can we show him all the love that we can today? Alright, sounds promising. Hi!
Not happening in the drama.
So our question for this one is, mag-meet and greet ba ang abs mo? The joke lang.
아직은 좀 있는 것 같습니다.
I think I still have it a bit.
You can see naman, no? Yeah, they're doing very well underneath your shirt. Okay, this is the real question. Let's take a look at the question.
네, 이거는 슈퍼라는 드라마고요. 네, 이 작품 역시 굉장히 많은 분들, 해외에 계신 많은 많은 분들께서 정말 많이 좋아해 주셨던 작품인 것 같고요. 이 작품도 굉장히 액션도 있고 뭐 멜로도 있고 되게 다양한 장르가 있는 또 재밌는 드라마입니다.
So yeah, this is the drama is Killer, and due to this drama, I was able to be recognized, and many foreign fans love the drama so much. And also, I feel with a lot of fun, and also there are also like a lot of actions and love contained in this series.
I think when we're looking at your career so far, it really shows us the range of your acting, and a lot of your fans, I'm sure, you heal. In Korean we like to say that like this is very healing for me when I'm watching something. Do you feel that way when you're watching Chang, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to ask you this question regarding this show. Can we take a look at the question, please? What makes Chang healing? Or to rephrase the question, what do you do to get that healing feeling as we do when we watch you?
뭐 일단 지금 저한테 힐링이 되는 건 사실 제 팬 여러분들입니다.
Of course, at this moment, the healing for me are my fans.
그리고 평소에 사실 저는 그냥 운동하고요, 뭐 친구들 만나서 뭐 커피를 마시면서 수다를 떤다거나 아니면 가끔 친구들과 술 한잔을 한다거나 이런 것들이 사실 뭐 소소하지만 저한테는 큰 힐링이 되는 것 같아요.
And usually I just would like to exercise or just meet my friends to hang out and just have some coffee or just drink together. Those kind of small daily life that I have are a good healing for me.
But of course, number one on the list is your fans. And we really want to heal you. So isang malakas na Chang sarangin naman dyan. Okay, let's move on to our next photo. This is from the musical The Days.
James
Tell us a little
Bond?
bit about this.
네, 이거는 제가 굉장히 오랫동안 공연을 했었던 뮤지컬 공연이고요.
So this is a musical that I actually performed for a very long time.
이게 벌써 10주년이 되었다고 하네요.
And it says that it's been already 10 years since I performed this musical.
네, 굉장히 못 보신 분들 많으실 텐데 되게 재밌는 뮤지컬입니다.
I think many of you guys have not watched it, but this is actually a very fun musical.
Have you? Oh no, this was performed in Korea, so I don't think our fans here have seen it. But I think again, some actors sing on the side, but I think with you, you are fully an actor. You are fully a singer as well. I mean, your performance level on stage, you're doing a musical. So let us take a look at the question for this one. By the way, the character that you played here, his name is Lee Moo-young, but many people think it's Chi Moo-young because of Chang, right? Which I think shows us how much this role fit you so well. So let's take a look at the question for this one. Do you remember how many times you performed musical The Days? The run for this.
글쎄요, 제가 이거를 3년 정도 공연을 했었는데 정확히 몇 회인지는 잘 모르겠어요.
I performed this musical for 3 years, and I don't think I remember how many times was that.
We're gonna give you the answer. Let's take a look at the answer. Answer, please. Because you are a monster who performed twice a day, 97 times in a row for 6 months. That is amazing. Do you remember? I mean, was it very tiring for you? What was performing that much like?
근데 사실 이게 굉장히 오랫동안 했던 공연이기 때문에 저한테는 굉장히 애착이 많이 가는 공연이에요.
Actually, this is a musical that I performed for a very long time, so my love for this musical is great.
네, 같이 공연했던 이제 팀원들하고도 너무나도 아직까지 연락을 하고 만날 만큼 사이가 너무 좋고요.
And the team members that I work with for this musical, I still contact them and we meet often.
I see. Are we gonna get a taste of, maybe like musical, The Days on the fan meeting today? Are we gonna get a little sample of that, you think?
제가 이따가 여기 나오는 넘버 중에 하나고요. 그리고 한국에서는 굉장히 유명한 네, 가수분의 노래인데 그거를 제가 이따가 불러보도록 하겠습니다.
There's a song, one of the song list in the musical, and it's a very popular song in Korea. So I'm going to sing that later on.
Yay! Yes, let's move on to our next photo, please. Tell us a little bit about Empress Key.
기와무라는 드라마였고요. 사극이었습니다. 네, 여기서는 제가 이제 왕 역할로 나오는데요. 이것도 굉장히 추억이네요.
Actually, the drama is Empress Key, and this is a history drama, and I acted as a king, and yeah, it's been a long time.
저 사진이 아마 제 10년 전 모습이거든요.
So that picture you see is like me 10 years ago.
But he looks even better now.
Yes!
10 years later. Oh my goodness. So on the show, you know, there were a lot of scenes where you were angry and you were getting drunk, very dramatic. Let's take a look at the question that we have for Empress Key. How much can you drink? And do you have any drinking habits?
글쎄요, 제가 술을 잘 못 마시는데요. 뭐 가늠을 하실지 모르겠지만 소주로 했을 때는 한 병에서 한 병 반 정도 마시는 것 같아요.
Actually, I'm not a good drinker, so I don't know if you guys know, but in soju, if I drink one bottle or one bottle and a half, you know, I get drunk already.
Oh!
We'll take care of you. And then, do you have any habits, like, you know, when you're drinking, you know, are you a happy drunk? What are you like?
뭐 일단은 되게 업되고요. 그러다가 졸려요.
I get really hyped up when I'm drunk, and all of a sudden I get sleepy.
Who would like to take care of you? Sorry. Let's move on to our next photo. Next photo, please. The worst evil. Okay, so this is in the works, right? Tell us a little bit about this.
네, 지금 한창 촬영을 하고 있고요. 아마 내년 이제 중순 되기 전까지 계속 촬영을 할 것 같은데 아무래도 아마 디즈니 플러스에서 내년 말쯤 오픈을 할 것 같습니다.
Yeah, so this is a drama that I'm working on right now. I guess I'll be filming until the first and second quarter of next year, and it will be aired around the third and fourth quarter of next year.
이거는 누아르예요.
And the genre of the drama is noir.
제가 형사인데요. 형사가 마약을 유통하는 깡패 조직에 잠입해서 그 조직을 잡는 그런 이야기입니다.
So it's a detective story where he gets into a drug dealer community and he acts as a drug dealer so that he can catch them.
네, 기대 많이 해주세요.
So I hope you guys expect a lot from the series.
How do you think he looks in a cop uniform? You like it? So I'm sure. Oh my. Oh wow. A round of applause, please. Oh, please. Which is going to spin, right? And once it starts spinning, you can tell it to stop. Okay? And then we're gonna take a look at a scene that the roulette stops on, and we're actually gonna do a little something fun with that. How does that sound?
일단은 뭔가 이제 팬 여러분들하고 같이 재현을 하는 코너인데요. 좀 기대가 되고요. 열심히 한번 해보겠습니다.
Yeah, this is a corner where I can actually try with my fans, and yeah, I'm very excited to try.
May mga reenactment ito. So prepare yourselves. Okay, here we go. Let us spin that roulette, please. Can we spin it? Spin it, please. There we go. And you can say stop anytime you want. This, by the way, stop.
Stop.
Backstreet Rookie.
It's a little rusty. Okay. By the way, this is the.
Ah!
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the scene? Like, what is going on?
Nakakaloka, may motor.
오토바이를 타고 간 장면.
Yeah, in this scene, this is from the Backstreet Rookie, and I'm actually riding the motorcycle with Sepyeol.
So the first layer of Chichang that we're looking at with this is young Chang, right? Because in all his roles, even if he's playing a grown man, there's a childlike innocence to him that I think we all adore. So what we're gonna do with this one is first we're going to draw a fan's name, right? On the fishbowl. Let's say.
네, 제가 뽑았습니다.
I picked the name.
Mila Lomolho. Is this Mila Lomolho? Are you here? Come on down, please, Mila. So we're gonna wait for Mila to come up here.
Oh my God.
Wait, don't pretend to be Mila if you're not Mila. Okay, the section. Do we have a section? We don't have a seat number. We do not have a section number.
저희.
Okay, I think we have Mila coming down now.
Oh, napakaswerte nila na. Woo! Ay, si nanay! Ay!
Okay. So, what Mila's gonna do on the
Swerte naman ni Mother.
You saw that scene earlier, right?
Ay!
Sige, surprise natin siya. Hi! Hi, Miss Mila. Saan po kayo galing? Antipolo. Ay, ang layo. Naglalakbay, Miss Mila. How do you feel being with Chichango right next to you?
Actually, very happy. Napanood ko siya sa Healer. The first time that I watched him, Healer, and I loved him already.
Oh, hindi pa yan yung surprise, Miss Mila, ha? Because as you saw in the scene earlier, Chichango was on a motorcycle, right? So he's going to offer a helmet for you. Okay? Which one would you like? O, the lavender, syempre, di ba? Okay, so, Chichango, your favorite color? So you're gonna wear the helmet. And then I am going to take a Polaroid photo. I will take a Polaroid photo of the two of you so that you can take. Are you ready? persona, which is, oh, you're gonna like this, romantic. You know, yung eyes pa lang niya, you know, when he looks at you, it's basically
Oh my God.
already when he looks at you. Pero, can we take a look at that romantic eyes? Where's the camera? Romantic eyes. Very romantic eyes. Kamusta ang ating mga puso? Okay. Good. Let's take a look at this roulette first. Let's spin. Let's see which show we're gonna get. Roulette, please.
Stop!
다시 마음이 돌리던가 다시 마음이 좋아하던가 이런 걸 하는 게 아니야. 내가 너를 존중하는 만큼 너도 나를 존중해달라는 거야. 그러니까 즉 내가 너를 좋아하게 너를 구하는
So, love the show, love that scene. I think actually after this, you got a new nickname. You were called the Kiss Master. How do you feel about that nickname, Kiss Master?
일단 뭐 그렇게 불러주시면 너무 감사합니다.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for that nickname.
So, because you're the Kiss Master, this mission is for all of you, okay? All of you. And this is called Hand Kiss and 4 Kinds of Heart. So basically, we're gonna zoom into you, and on the camera, you can give us 4 kinds of hearts and 1 hand kiss for everybody who's here. Would you like to see that? Okay. Camera, please. Close up. On 3, 2, 1. Okay, heart 1, heart 2, heart 3, heart 4, and hand kiss. Okay. Oh, my bonus spot. Hindi naman makakatulog yan mamaya. Hindi naman. Okay. Let us take a look at your next persona now. And if you like the romantic Chang, you're gonna like this even more because we're gonna move on to sexy Chang. Okay, let's spin that roulette for sexy Chang. Let's see what we get.
스탑!
So action-packed this show. Oh my, oh my. Okay. Woo! Okay, let's talk about that show a little bit. I mean, so action-packed and how you go about those scenes. It's so sexy. Was it very difficult for you to shoot those scenes?
저거 사실 굉장히 어렵게 촬영한 장면이에요.
Actually, there's a scene where I had a really hard time to film it.
뭐 액션도 있었고요. 약간 그 우산을 씌워주는 약간 이런 감정씬들도 있었어가지고 굉장히 되게 어렵게 촬영을 했던 장면이 많습니다.
Yeah, there were a lot of actions and also like emotional scenes where I have to put my umbrella for that person. You know, I had to really control myself, so I had a hard time filming it.
네, 그래서 오늘은 제가 팬 한 분한테 우산을 씌워드리면 되는 거잖아요.
So for today, maybe I can just share my umbrella with one of our fans. Right?
Alright, let's do that. Let us play a game. So this,
Ay, payo.
Huwag mo nang gawin yung payong nyo, ha? Huwag na. Where are you from? VIP BE14. Ley de los Santos. Ley de los Santos. Come on down, girl. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Please welcome Ley with a big round of applause, everyone. Over here, Ley, hi. Matching ang outfit. Hi, Ley. How do you feel being on stage with Chang right now?
I'm so happy. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
I mean, you know, it could fit with the scene. No, you cry. Bagay naman. Oh, she's really crying, you guys. She's really crying. Okay. All right. So, internalize. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna stand here in front of Chang with your back to him, right? And then you're gonna start walking this way. And then hahabulin ka niya. Hahabulin ka ni Chichanwok na may umbrella. At sabay kayo. Are you ready? Kaya? Oh my gosh. Okay. Rain on the screen, please. Kasi umulan dun sa scene, di ba?
Yan!
Are you ready? All right. Quiet on the set. Three, two, one, action! Your final words to Chichanwok.
Wala ka kapate.
Next year, and I will never forget this day.
Thank you, Chang. I love you. Salamat.
You can have the umbrella. You can take the umbrella with you. Let's give
Ay, yung panyo! Kotang-kota to si ate!
Alright, and so, we talk a lot at Chichanwok's discography, so many of his faces, roles, projects that he's done. And of course, his longtime fans always love the character called Tawan in Empress Key. Are you guys a fan of Tawan?
Yes!
And I heard that you prepared a special performance in line with that.
네, 일단 귀여움이라는 드라마에서 제가 OST를 불렀었는데요.
Actually, I sang an OST from the drama Empress Key.
그래서 제가 불렀던 OST 나비에게라는 노래를 불러드리겠습니다.
So I'm going to sing one of the OST there to the butterflies.
보이지 않나요? 나 그대 곁에서 계속 숨쉬는데 듣지 않나요? 그대 위해 그댈 향하는
energy onto the show. He has personalized this so much, and here he is, everyone. Please welcome him back with a round of applause. Okay, love the love.
네, 제가 이렇게 마술사를 한번 입어봤습니다.
So I tried the magician outfit.
제 마술을 도와주실 분이 한 분이 필요한데요.
And actually I need an assistant who can help me with my magic.
제가 한 분을 또 뽑아보도록 하겠습니다.
So let me pick one name.
Di na umaasa. Minsan na manalo.
From Q8, I'm sorry, that's the seat number, section patron A, Joy Santos. Joy Santos. Are you ready to be Chichanuk's assistant today? Are you here? From patron A, seat number Q8, Joy Santos.
Ready to CR.
Okay, she's here. Teleporting sounds really good right now.
나오시네요.
There she is.
Where? In pink? Oh, her. She's walking. Yeah, she's walking. Okay. She's on the way over, guys. Joy is here. We are joyful that Joy is here.
Hello po!
Hi, Joy. Come on down. Hi. Where did you come from? 진짜 멀리 오셨어요. What would you like? Okay, first, what would you like to say to Chang na nasa harap mo na siya ngayon? How do you feel?
Sobrang happy po. Sobrang worth yung pagod kahapon ko pumunod dito.
Oh!
Yesterday pa. I am so happy that this is so worth it. It's going to be so worth it, yes. Have you experienced magic before?
Sa ano ko niya, sa drama niya.
Okay. So you experienced it on a show and now you're gonna experience it with him in the flesh. You excited? Super Bob! Alright, sounds good. Okay.
자, 일단은 그래도 도와주시러 나오셨으니까 제가 선물을 하나 드리고 싶습니다.
Since you have came here as an assistant, I would like to give you a present.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
Sumama sa magic. Okay. Patingin nga, totoo ba yan? Okay, it's real! It's real! How do you feel? Ba't ang layo natin kay Richard? How do you feel? I know, I'm so happy for you too. Are we gonna do another trick with her? One more? One more. Okay, one more. Kaya mo ba? Kaya ba?
Hello?
자, 일단 이 고리를 한번 확인해 보세요.
Please check the ring.
Paki-confirm daw na solid siya. Okay, it's not broken or anything. Oh, oh! Oh my gosh! Amazing! Oh my, can you please give them a round of applause? This is a legit magician. Absolutely amazing!
감사합니다.
How do you feel having experienced Chang's magic today?
Sobrang worth it po. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm supporting forever.
Thank you so much, Joy. Let's give her a round of applause. Joy has become joy itself. Joy today. We're so happy for you, Joy. Thank you. Thank you.
감사합니다. 살라마포.
Ah!
tricks? I mean, yeah. Oh, we have
예.
more?
이제 제가 보여드릴 마술은요, 여러분도 다 같이 하실 수 있는 마술입니다.
Now this magic is something that all of you guys can participate.
대신에 제 설명에 집중을 해주시고 잘 따라와 주세요.
Please listen carefully of my instructions and follow thoroughly.
갑니다.
Let's go.
자, 4장의 카드가 있습니다.
There are 4 cards on the table.
이 4장의 카드 중에 아무 카드나 여러분들이 마음에 드는 카드를 마음속으로 선택해 주세요.
Among the 4 cards, please choose one card among the 4 and keep it to your heart.
선택하셨나요?
Have you guys chosen it already?
Yes.
이제 카드가 늘어납니다.
Now the cards are increasing.
자, 아까 선택하신 그 카드를 기억해 두시고요.
Please remember the card that you have chosen a while ago.
제가 이렇게 핑거 스냅을 하면 한 칸씩 이동을 하는 거예요.
If I do a finger snap, you have to move the card in one step.
이동을 하는데 다만 대각선으로는 옮기실 수 없습니다.
You cannot move the step diagonally.
옆으로
You can only move to sides
위아래로만 이동을 하실 수가 있습니다.
and up and down.
네, 제자리에 가만히 있는 것도 안 됩니다.
Keeping in that position is also not possible.
자, 이제 시작해 볼게요.
Now let's start.
이동하셨나요?
Did you guys move it?
Yes.
이동하셨나요?
Did you move it?
이동하셨나요?
Did you move it?
이동하셨나요?
Did you move the card?
그 카드를 찾겠습니다.
Let me look for that card.
이거 아니고요.
Not this one.
이것도 아닙니다.
Not this either.
다시 이동하겠습니다.
Let's move it again.
이동하셨나요?
Did you move?
이동하셨나요?
Did you move the card?
이동하셨나요?
Did you move the card?
이거 아니고요.
Not this one.
이것도 아니고요.
Not this one.
이것도 아닙니다.
Not this one. Also.
이동하셨나요?
Did you move it?
이동하셨나요?
Did you move it again?
이동하셨나요?
Did you move the card?
이거 아니고요.
Not this one.
이거 아니고요.
Not this one.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, this is such an amazing family that you're doing. You sang for us, you're doing magic tricks for us. This is absolutely amazing, and we want to thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone. And this is just part 1. How do you feel now, as we're about to cross over to the next chapter?
저는 사실 오늘 너무 되게 설레이고요. 그리고 기분이 굉장히 너무 좋은 것 같습니다. 행복해요.
Actually, I'm very excited right now, and I'm very happy right now.
왜냐면 사실 저 집에 있을 때는 저희 어머니께서 이렇게까지 저를 좋아해 주시는
Because when I'm at home, my mother doesn't love me like this.
저를 이렇게 너무 막 좋아해 주시고 막 즐거워해 주시니까 제가 너무 행복합니다.
But you guys are loving me so much, and you guys are having so much fun, so it's also making me happy.
더 즐거운 시간을 보내기 위해서 제가 한번 준비하고 돌아오겠습니다.
So for us to have more fun, let me just prepare for a while and come back.
잠시만 기다려주세요.
Please wait for a moment.
We'll see you in a little bit, guys.
어제는 아니죠
내려가준 먼지 사이로 귓가에 은은하게 울려 퍼지는 그대의 성미 속으로 사라져버려 때론 눈물로 흘리지 그리움으로 때론 가슴도 저리지 외로움으로 사랑해지마 그대를 사랑해지마 그저 이렇게 멀리서 바라보는 따라설 수 없어 지친 그대 곁에 머물고 싶지만 떠날 수밖에 그대를 때론 가슴도 저리겠지 외로움으로 사랑해지마 그대를 사랑해지마 그저 이렇게 멀리서 바라보는 다가설 수 없어 지친 그대 곁에 머물고 싶지만 떠날 수밖에 그대를 사랑했지만 그대를 사랑했지만
Please make some noise for Chang, everyone. 네. So, I'm sure you guys can feel that we are approaching the end of today's night. Do you feel like he reached you today?
Yeah!
Yes, because that was the point of this show. We want to thank you so much for all the energy and love that you poured out into this fan meeting. I guess we can end with a closing message from you, like your last words for your Filipino fans.
네, 이렇게 제 팬미팅이 막바지가 되었습니다.
Sorry.
Yeah, so it's almost the closing of our fan meeting here in Manila.
여러분이 이렇게 저를 사랑해 주시는 게 저한테는 정말 너무나도 큰 힘이 되는 것 같습니다.
The fact that you guys are loving me became a really huge power for me.
진심으로 너무 감사드립니다.
Expect a lot from me. Thank you so much, and I love you guys.
Did you have a good time today? Are you excited when to come back already?
Yeah!
And you had a good time today too, right? You were happy?
너무너무 행복했어요.
I was really, really happy.
감사하고요. 되게 자주 만날 수 있는 그런 기회가 있으면 참 좋겠다 이런 생각이 더 많이 드는 것 같습니다.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I thought like maybe we should have more opportunities to meet each other.
And we are gonna wrap a really nice bow around this memory that you will share now forever with another song, right? We're gonna sing for a while.
Salamat po!
한 걸음조차 멈출 수 없어서
Bakit ang dilim? Grabe naman ang dilim ng part na yun. My God! Matayo na sila! Ano ba yan? Uy, upo naman kayo! Taray nun ah! Ito naman! Ay! Nakakagulat naman to. I love you, Opa! Ichang!
사랑하는 그대에게 처음 당신을 만나러 오는 길 많이 설렜습니다. 당신은 어땠을까요? 멀리서도 응원해주는 당신을 떠올려 봅니다. 당신이 있는 그곳은 어디쯤일까 하늘을 이렇게 쳐다봅니다. 우리가 같은 하늘 아래에 있다고 생각을 하면 정말 가까운 느낌이 들어요. 2625km 서울과 마닐라의 거리라고 합니다. 하지만 당신의 마음은 언제나 제게 닿아 있습니다. 오늘 제 마음이 당신에게 닿았을까요? 제 곁에 머물러 주셔서 늘 정말 감사합니다. 제 마음을 다 전하지 못해서 늘 너무 아쉽습니다. 웃으며 만날 수 있어서 정말 행복합니다. 늘 행복하지 않더라도 많은 날 행복하셨으면 좋겠습니다. 정말 사랑합니다. 우리 또 다시 만나요. 2022년 11월 6일 당신의 창으로부터 여러분 정말 진심으로 감사합니다. 살라마토. 감사합니다.
Thank you.